So now I want to recreate the Jabba scene where there's a big fat Flumph and then there's like
Oh
little
my God.
Flumphs floating around and they're sitting over at a pit with a purple worm.
Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm not going to be doing that alone. I have the Dungeon Master round table here with me. Got people who know a lot about Dungeons and Dragons and monsters. So what I thought we would do is give you a whole lot of ideas, fun and interesting ways that you can use the Flumph in your Dungeons and Dragons game. I know, what the heck are you supposed to do with a fart monster? Yes, we're going to talk about the Flumph. But before we do, I want everybody to introduce themselves because you should listen to what they have to say.
Hi, my name's Baron Durop. I have a channel called Dungeon Masterpiece.
How's it going? No Fun Allowed, and my channel is No Fun Allowed.
Hi, I'm Eric from Fryminis.
Now, what have you got for us, Ryan? I know that you've had all of 8 seconds to actually come up with an idea for the Flumph, and that is more than you require, as I understand. So what have you got?
Yes, so if you think about the ecology of a Flumph, they're generally attracted to people who have like magic psionic ability, right? So even though they are also repelled by evil creatures, so they're caught in this weird catch-22 in the Underdark where they want to be proximal to Illithids and Aboleths, but they don't really like them. So what if they needed to figure out a way to get into the Illithid's lair to disrupt their behavior, but they needed the like players in order to help them deal with them because Flumphs are weak, right? They just have this weird monastic culture. So using the knowledge and the lay of the land that the Flumphs have, the players can work with Flumphs in order to sneak into an Illithid's den and pretend to be Flumphs. I don't know what that looks like exactly, but managed to get into the breeding pits thanks to the Flumphs and just infiltrate the whole thing because the Illithids don't pay any mind to Flumphs. So if you ever needed to get into an Illithid's lair, that's your ticket in is riding a Flumph.
Well, I see people like always admire Flumphs because of how cute they are, but I want to make them bad guys. I want to make them villains. I want to have them holding little ray guns and shooting at you while they look so cute, and then your players are going to feel terrible when they inevitably have to put them down. I just imagine, you go through this dungeon, harrowing, maybe a PC's died, a whole bunch of NPCs have died, and the players go and finally fight the big bad evil guy. And it's a little Flumph holding a little ray gun that says, "Time to die." I just think that's just fantastic. Make the cute monsters the villains in your games.
I got to tell you, I had 2 bullets here that I was going to talk about, and one of them was Flurmphs, the evil cousins of Flumphs. So hats off to you on that one. But I also like the idea of Underdark for sure. But if they happen to, maybe they live near the surface and they happen to venture into town like once a year, and they're nice creatures, right? But that town, they don't want to be rude, so they let them in. But they're like that one cousin that is always walking around with a stinking aura that the town just hates it when they come by, but they don't want to be rude. So the annual Flumph visit, I think, could be kind of a fun, maybe a low-level event.
An annual Flumph visit.
And Flumph jerky, of course.
Oh, my.
Okay, so I actually had 3 ideas, but I will just float the first 2.
No pun intended.
Well, it had happened. We've been doing a lot of punning today. So the first thing is I can just envisage the Flumph, since it's like a floating jellyfish, having like one of those serving trays on it, and you can put like drinks and food on it and just have it float around a party serving drinks. I guess I kind of like, the idea is R2-D2. R2-D2 from Return of the Jedi, and he's serving drinks. And I was thinking that in terms of the Flumph, like the perfect creature for serving drinks and feeding off hopefully all the good vibes as people get more pissed. during the party. So that seemed like a really fun way of using them. If you don't like that and you want something that's a little less crazy and out there, there's a creature called the Pech, Pech, very old monster. It's like a gnome. It lives in the Underdark. It's actually neutral good, so it's not surprisingly, it's not an evil creature. And they work with stone. They're an elemental creature. They kind of look like a really elongated gnome, but they're still quite small. And they work with stone. And their whole idea is that they work with the stone, become more with the stone, and eventually when they die, they become part of the stone. And they're the kind of creature in the Underdark that you would imagine that Flumph would actually have a good time hanging out around them, because they wouldn't feel all those horrible feelings coming through. I mean, mind flayers, the intellect devourers, and all the rest, they're all crazy nuts, right? So, but a Pech is a community of them would actually survive quite nicely with Flumphs nearby, I think. So I thought that would be a nice way to sort of incorporate them as sort of like a symbiotic society of some kind.
So now we talked about evil Flumphs, and then we talked about like the Underdark, and we talked about Star Wars. So now I want to recreate the Jabba scene where there's a big fat Flumph, and then there's like little Flumphs floating around, and they're sitting over at a pit with a purple worm.
Man, that's good. Now you just go full circle and throw Dune into it.
Fred, sir, these exude a horrible stench. Creatures coated in this foul-smelling liquid are poisoned and last for 1d4 hours. What kind of party are you going to?
Someone who's got really, really bad hay fever and no sense of smell like myself. We'll spray them down with perfume before they go in.
I mean, you can put lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
So it's like a 13-year-old with axe spray. Got it.
Yeah. Exactly. You can dump a bottle of manure, or dump a bottle of cologne onto some manure, but it still smells like hot shit. So.
I like the idea that because these are vulnerable to psychic, I like the idea of like an up-and-coming bard who wants to like practice vicious mockery, seeks out a colony of these things to just blow them up.
Oh, man.
Test their skills.
Oh, well, I mean, that's a whole thing right there. Like, what if there is a quest hook of stop the Bardic College, please? They're killing all of our children.
they just hurl insults at the bar and kill people. They're monsters.
Look, to be fair, I understand the fart monster probably has got some problems being with other creatures, but I still feel like it is one of those monsters that players would love to have as a pet. I mean, no matter what, whether it's going to impale you with the spikes that it's sticking out of its bottom, or it's going to make you smell like a I don't know, what's the stench pit or bog in the labyrinth?
Oh gosh, what is this?
Skunk?
No, what? Oh man. I'm losing my nerd card right now. What is this?
I've never even seen it, so I don't even have a nerd card.
I have to look it up.
Bog of Eternal Stench.
Thank you. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. You, I mean, it's not great to be around, but you can.
Wow.
It's like a war. You just have it at the entrance to ward everything away.
Yeah. If you've never seen Labyrinth, Eric, you have homework. Like, do that over Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I expect an 800-page book report. Well, movie
800
report.
800-page? I'm
no,
impressed.
800 word. 800 word. 800 word.
As long as I don't get detention.
No, you won't get detention. Just death saves.
Okay. All right. So I think we've done the Flumph. Look, I am sure you'll find something here that isn't completely nuts that you can use in your game. And
I don't know about that.
Probably not.
But look, tell us down in the comment section how you would use Flumphs, and make sure to check out all of these people because they do good stuff. All of the information is in the description. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.
For the record, I was going to. I didn't want to go on too much about the Flumphs, but I was going to have them do like leather jackets, like 1950s, kind of like Mad Mage style spin on them. Yeah.